Good morning. We've got economic news. We've got Ghislaine Maxwell uh, living it up in a Texas summer camp. We've got uh, Donald Trump royally stepping into a trap of his own creation by going after Jack Smith. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's just dive into it. Where to start? It was a busy weekend. I hope your weekend is well. We are officially in August, folks. It is August 3rd. Can you believe it? We are in the 8th month of the year. We are 2/3 of the way through this year already. We're only 4 months away from Christmas. It's crazy. It is crazy how fast this year is going. And it's because of things like this. I mean, this weekend was just insane with the news. I don't even know exactly where to start. I mean, you got Trump firing, I guess we'll start here, firing the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he didn't like that she did her job. Erica McIntyre. I know I mangled that. I know I did. McIntyre. Yeah, she did her job. She reported on what was going on with job creation. And if you're a longtime member of the audience or have just been around over the last several months, you've seen it. I brought up the ADP numbers. I showed you what private industry was telling you was happening with jobs, the people that are paid to follow this for a living, and what the Trump administration had been putting out. And this math didn't math. I told you the books were cooked. They were way too damn high. And sure enough, I mean, they had to revise them down. I mean, they had to go over the last several months and say, no, we were wrong. We were wrong. Last month, we only created 73,000 jobs. Folks, again, just a reminder, the floor is like 225,000 jobs. You have to create that every month. The average annually has to be 225,000 a month just to keep up with population growth. I mean, this is horrible. This is horrible. But it's worse than that. It's worse than that. They maze jobs. They had said that we'd created 144,000 jobs. Nope. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to say, I was right. I was right. We only created 19,000 jobs in May. See, they have to rely on questionnaires. They have to call these companies, and then when it's over, they go back and they call them again and say, "Hey, what did you actually do? You told me what you thought you did. Now tell me what you actually did." And they do. They revise these all the time. Trump is trying to claim it's political. That's why he fired this person, that she did a political. Well, this is the same person that revised the job numbers down in October of last year, right before the election, where we had an abysmal jobs report. Right before the election, she's the one that came in with the numbers that said, no, actually, that, we thought we created more than we did. No, so I think it was like 25,000 jobs or something. It was just a miserable jobs report. No, she's not in the Biden's pocket. If she was in Biden's pocket, why the hell would she shank him or Kamala Harris, if she was a Democrat, why would she shank our candidate right before the election? It makes no sense. It's bullshit. It's made up crap. But it's just, it is. I mean, we talked about this. We said the numbers aren't right. I showed you the ADP numbers that were nowhere near what they were trying to claim was being created. They said in June they created 147,000 jobs. Nope, 14,000 jobs. So big picture, what does that mean? I mean, what does this mean? What does this chart mean to us? It means what we were afraid of was going to happen is happening. What we were seeing with the other financial data, we went so far as to track ships and shipping and how many, how much goods, what does it look like? What do our ports look like? What are the goods going through our ports look like? I mean, we're going into, at minimum, a recession. At minimum. And Trump is in full freakout mode about this because everybody told him, what you're doing with these tariffs does this. It does this. And Republicans like Coward Butlick have been running around telling everybody, oh, look at the jobs reports. Everything's great. You're going to love this. No, it's not. I mean, I hate to disappoint you, but math is just math. This is old school economics. This isn't new stuff. This isn't cutting edge. Something different is happening. Bullshit. I mean, this is what it is. We're going into a damn recession. We are. And worse, we're going into a recession and inflation is ticking up. That is the worst scenario. That is the worst scenario because it ties your hands behind your back as to what you can do. There's a lot that they can do. They can make money cheap. That is the big thing they do. Slash interest rates. But if inflation is ticking up while the economy is slowing, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. It takes inflation and turns it into hyperinflation much faster than it will ever help your economy. And then the hyperinflation will turn around and tank your economy. It actually ends up being the worst thing you can do. This is a bad situation, folks. It really is a bad situation. We really need the experts in place. We really need the pros in place. But it looks like Trump is just going to fire people and put sycophants in charge. So, buckle up, Buttercup. This is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. And the numbers are coming back. They look like hell. People are already coming out and saying, look, this is just tanking us. We heard about Ford. Late last week, we heard Ford come out and say, look, we lost $2 billion over your tariffs. And this is what I don't understand. So far, these companies, well, you want to talk about bending the knee. So far, every one of these car companies, I'm going to give you these numbers for, have eaten these tariffs. They didn't pass them on yet. They just took it in the poop chute, man. They ate these tariffs, didn't pass them on to. That cannot continue. That will not continue. They will go bankrupt if they try to do that. This means car prices are going up. They just are. There's no way around it. But so far, these companies, and this is just what's blown my mind, is these companies literally ate these tariffs. And I understand to a degree why. It's like this focus is mainly on Porsche. They've been trying to lobby carve-outs into these tariffs, so they didn't want to piss the Trump administration off. by jacking prices and spiking inflation, and they were trying to play, they were trying to service Trump's taint is what they were trying to do at the expense of their investors. But that can't continue. The investors will not allow that to continue. They just will not. But Porsche, which does not, a company that does not move a large volume of cars, has lost $400 million. They're reporting they've lost $400 million in profits to the tariffs. Stellantis, they're the company when you think Dodge, Jeep, the French Italian company Stellantis. Yeah, that's no longer an American car company. They lost 300 million to the tariffs. Ford, we talked about, is reporting the biggest loss of close to 2 billion. Plus, they're getting killed because they invested over $1 billion into rolling out electric vehicles, and then this big ugly bill just slashed all their incentives. So they're in the situation of not only not only are they getting screwed by the tariffs and everything they're trying to sell now, they just may have lost a huge chunk of their market in the future. And GM is saying that they lost $1.1 billion that they just ate for Trump. So if you want to just understand what the political landscape is and how badly these broligarchs are in the tank for Trump, that right there is enough to tell you. They ate these tariffs. Vincent Saravo, all this tariff confusion, easier raise corporate taxes, same result. Ron Slater, thanks for supporting the show, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. ET in the house. They're expecting to get bailed out if they fail. So for them, why worry? The majority of registered voters did not vote. We have to get them voting. Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. But yeah, this is economically, this is going to be a disaster. It just is. They can pretend. These CEOs can play pretend all they want. They can. But I'm telling you, maybe it's different from you. Let me see it in the comments. If you're watching this in the replay, hit the open panel button. If you're watching this on replay on YouTube, hit the open panel button right there so you can see what the folks in the live chat are saying. This is a community show. It's what they have to say is important. But yeah, this is. I don't know anybody right now that is shopping for a new vehicle. Nobody. And I damn sure don't know anybody that can afford to take another 10, 15, 20% hit on the price of a new vehicle. Folks, I am telling you, a pickup truck, I'm talking about something like these ranchers need to use to haul their trailers and cattle around and shit like that. That's $100,000. That's a six-figure vehicle now. They can't take another 10, 15, 20% on top of that. They just can't. This is insane. This is insane. There's so much about this Trump administration that we just could not afford. We just didn't have the time. And this is just insane. Stop calling stupid. Not the first time Ford and GM backed the fascists. No kidding. Amen. I hear you. But that's not everything. I mean, we've got some other crazy news going on. Yeah. So this happened over the weekend. Actually happened during the show on Friday. This is just mind-blowing. This is just so gross and flagrant. She sits down with Todd Blanche, Trump's defense attorney, Todd Blanche. And then 2 days later, she's on a plane to a minimum security prison here in Texas. Folks, there is so much wrong with that. First of all, let's talk about the fact that she is an extreme flight risk. She was denied bail during her hearing because she is such a flight risk. Folks, she has multiple passports. Her grandfather is French. If she gets to France, we'll never get her out. They will not extradite her. They won't. She has access to money. They know from the investigation that she had access to all of Epstein's accounts. Plus, she's a freaking heiress, man. She has means to flee. And she did. When they were trying to arrest her, she didn't just surrender herself. She hid. They had to move heaven and earth to get her to trial. And now she's sitting in a minimum security summer camp here in Texas, in Bryan, Texas, just down the road from me, down in Bryan, Texas. Folks, when I tell you this place is a joke, these people leave here and go work in the community. I'm not even kidding. This is considered more of an apartment complex than it is a prison. These people actually have work release. And there is no way she is qualified to be here. She still has more than 10 years on her sentence. Right there, there's a regulation in the Bureau of Prisons. If you've got more than 10 years on your sentence, you can't go to a minimum security prison. You're too much of a flight risk. You just can't. It's the rules. Somebody waived that rule. Somebody waived that rule. And the nature of the offense. She has a public safety factor on her jacket. She can't go to minimum security as long as that is on her jacket. Someone somewhere had to change her status to make this. I want to know what the deal is. I want to know what the deal is. What was the deal that she made with Todd Blanche that after she sat down with Todd Blanche for 2 days, all of this happens to allow her to move to, well, let me show you. Let me just show you what the security is like in this place. Scooter Meg, thanks for supporting the show. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you for being here. Veggie Owl Girl, always here. I appreciate you. Longtime supporter of the show. Is it really a good thing she's going to a country club prison? Some people have an issue with her, so to speak. You know, at this point, I'm like, wow, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if they're trying to cut her loose or they're trying to kill her. I don't know. I don't know. Unicorn and Dragon Puppet Show. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. And no, they don't take violent offenders. They don't. There's so much that had to be done. And I want to know who approved it. I want to know who approved her change of status. I want to know who told the Bureau of Prisons to bend and break its rules. I want to know. Did this go all the way to Trump? Was this handled by, bullshit? I mean, just Pam Bondi? Who up there with clout made all of these changes after she sat down with Todd Blanche? I want answers to that. I do. Jordan, Thank you for being here. We need to discuss the long list of sex traffickers and pedophiles in the Trump administration and closed FBI investigations. Trump is proving every day he is one of them. He is freaking gross, man. But when I tell you this place, I just want to show you this place. I do. I just want to show you this place to the map. So you get an idea where we're talking about. This is Bryan, Texas. To give you an idea geographically where it's located. This is San Antonio. This is Houston. This is Dallas and Fort Worth. There's a kind of a triangle here. Dead in the center of that is Bryan, Texas. It's right outside Temple. Round Rock's not far from either one. It's called Bryan College Station. And it's the home of Texas A&M University. But this is a federal prison camp, Bryan, right in the middle of a neighborhood. I mean, this is supposed to be nonviolent offenders. And if you think I'm kidding, now you can't see much from the out, top view. We're going to go all the way around this thing. I really want you to see this. Let's start right here. Go to a street view. Look at that fence. Look at that fence. We're going to just cruise up the road. These are people it's somebody's house. It's somebody's house. And I don't mean it's like the warden's house. This is the warden's house. Let me back up. Let me take you back to the warden's house. Let me back up. This is the warden's house. This is the warden's house. I mean, look at this fence. You see this? This is just a regular old fence. This is the warden's house. This is just regular privacy fencing. That's it. The warden's house. And the warden's house just opens right up. There's just a regular little old privacy fence gate here. You can see the fence. Let me back out so you can see what I'm talking about. Just what a bullshit joke the security is at this prison. This is the warden's house we're looking at right here. And there's just this little gate that you jump over. Just a little gate you jump over and you're right in the prison complex. You notice there are no fences, no barbed wire, no nothing inside. No separation. They can just go anywhere they want. But the real trip is right here. This is, you've just got this ornamental gate that anybody could hop over. This is the main entrance. One side you've got just a regular old fence, tornado wire fence. Anybody could hop over. And then, oh wait, the fence ends. Just a little chain right here. You just step right over, or you can just walk around the chain and walk right out if you wanted to. I mean, it is the lowest security nonsense that you have ever seen. The only people that are supposed to be here are the completely nonviolent, completely. These are like old folks and whatever, and they've got a work release where they go out into the community and work. And you're going to put somebody that the court has already designated, exactly, tax evaders, white collar criminals, exactly. That's the kind of person that's supposed to be here, not somebody that raped and trafficked children. Josh says, I'm a teacher in Temple. This is infuriating. Yeah, I'm telling you. Are you starting to get the idea of how much this didn't come out of the Bureau of Prisons, folks? This did not. I promise you that. This was not done by the Bureau of Prisons. This was somebody way the hell up telling them to break every damn rule they have. I want to know what the deal is. I mean, I want to know what the deal is. Snowy Mountain. Blanche negotiated the cushy deal with Maxwell, one of the most vile criminals in U.S. history, at the center of the MAGA conspiracy world. If this isn't some sort of payoff, then what is it? And what will she deliver? I don't know. It's looking to me like she made a deal. She's just not going to talk about Trump. I guess they're not going to get that Senate testimony that they were looking for. I mean, she's still got 10 years. There's seeing a lot of speculation on this, setting her up to flee. I mean, she could jog out of that place. And there are very few guards here. This isn't like a prison, where it's like 1 to 7 or even 1 to 20. There are very, very few guards here. This is like an apartment complex, people. And to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Are they setting her up so that she can get away? So that because she is in her 60s, folks. I mean, she doesn't have a lot of life left in her. Let me find out her exact age right now. I think it's 63, I think. Yeah, she's 63 right now. Her birthday's on Christmas Day. So yeah, 10 years in this place, she'll be 73 before, she'll be 74 years old before she gets out. Think she's going to hang around? Or you think she's going to split and spend the last of her life in comfort, cared for by her siblings? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. What do you folks think? George Allen, the question is, why are they moving her there? And is she going to go? Is she going to go poof? Yeah, I mean, that's the question. The question is, how do you think she's going to go poof? Do you think somebody's going to get to her? Or do you think she's going to flee? Or both? Laura Yates, corruption at its finest. Either way, we're not getting any testimony out of her. That's clear. They made a deal to shut her up. And I mean, this is obviously that. Christopher Dady, all she had to say was, I only saw the Donald at parties. Amy Manuel, she's getting a pardon. Trump's people on Newsmax are calling her a victim and innocent. Yeah, this could be the first step. They could be moving her here and getting ready to hand her a pardon. Josh Jameson, hang around, no pun intended. Oh my God. Thanks for supporting the show, Miguel. I appreciate you. Warren Benson, make no mistake, Trump ordered this and Bondi made it happen. No doubt they will have a scapegoat to put it on, but it's a cover up. Maxwell better have eyes in the back of her head. I don't know where this is going to go, to be quite honest with you. I don't. Could be. That's the worst part about crypto. And Andrew Ordonez says slipped her a crypto wallet worth millions and said, shut the fuck up. Yeah, George Allen says, tough one, Paul. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I guess we are. We're just going to have to sit and watch this happen. But anyway, I mean, it's a confession. It's just a confession. If Trump were innocent, why would he do this? If Trump were innocent, why would they be doing this? They'd have no reason. No reason whatsoever. This is just sick. I mean, it's so blatant and right in front of your face. And they are trying to sell it on right-wing media. I don't know how well it's going over in their right-wing twisted minds, but yeah, they are really trying to sell the fact that she was wrongly convicted now. Newest bill. The consequences for the criminal acts of these people should be severe. I agree with you. I agree with you, sir. John Legger. It's all a setup. She won't last till the end of September. Would you take this deal? I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't trust my life. Thank you for the support. That is a lot of money, brother. That is a lot of money. Thank you. That was very generous of you. I would not put my life in Trump's hands for anything, for any reason. Kyle Rossi, she has more people to be afraid of besides Trump. She has means, folks. She does. She comes from, even though, Robert Maxwell lost most of his money when he died over, the fact that he was robbing his company's pension. They still have millions and millions and millions. She could hide for the rest of her life. She really could. And I wish I could say that was all of it, but it's not. We've got a new U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. If you haven't heard, it's Wine Barbie. Wine Barbie is the new U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. Folks, her only legal qualifications, is she was the Attorney General in Westchester County, and a judge in Westchester County. Folks, even a wealthy New York county like Westchester County, that level of legal, that's Pop Warner. That's Pop Warner football. That's Pop Warner football. She is now the U.S. attorney, the federal U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C. Folks, that's the NFL. These two things are not the same. She has no qualifications, no business. And I don't mean to be ageist here. I know a lot of people that are really sharp that are in their 70s. I do. But I don't have anyone that is in their 70s that will say, oh, yeah, I could step in and be U.S. attorney. Folks, that is not an easy job. It is not. You are managing every assistant U.S. attorney in the Washington, D.C. office, and you are overseeing all of their cases. To say that it's mentally strenuous is an understatement. And she is not the sharpest tool in the shed. She is not. I mean, she can't do a talk show without seeming like a complete freaking nutbag. And now she is the U.S. attorney. Folks, good time to be a criminal. It's a good time to be a criminal. Raymond Weaver. It just makes me sad and angry that this country is now run by either pedos or people that protect them. Amen, brother. Amen. Well said, sir. Paulette Tansel, thank you, Texas Paul. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. Yeah, this is going to be just stupid. Yeah, she's 74 years old, but she's not like, I know some, I know some folks, there are some very sharp 70-year-olds, sectogenarians out there. There are septuagenarians out there. There really are. I mean, I'm not going to say, but to run a U.S. attorney's office? I mean, come on. That is a very mentally strenuous job. I mean, not only do you have to know your shit as far as federal law is concerned. I mean, you just can't just be, Wine Barbie, the county judge. You have to actually know federal law. I mean, this has to be your wheelhouse, man. But not only that, but you have to understand prosecuting federal crimes, which she's got nothing on her resume. Nothing. You might as well make the barista down at fucking Starbucks the U.S. attorney. She'll do just as good a job, maybe better, because she's not 74 years old and addled from alcohol abuse. Richard Lawton, another great breakdown. No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. George Allen, thank you for so much support today, sir. Mick, thank you for the support, sir. Good to see a new supporter here, brother. And Lori Yates, back in whatever happened in being qualified for a government job. I know, man. I know. And speaking of not qualified, something that has happened. Moving on, something that has happened that people are really wringing their hands over, that they don't know that they have just been handed a gift. I mean, they have been handed a freaking gift. And what I'm talking about is this. Office of Special Counsel has opened an investigation into Jack Smith. Just stick with me. Just stick with me. I'm going to tell you why. This is a freaking, I told you, these people are morons. They are idiots. Trump is a pudding-brained, petty fucking child. This was a huge mistake. This is they went into the White House and forged a freaking bear trap, constructed it, set it, and then jumped into it themselves. This was, just stick with me. Just stick with me. Why? I know a lot of people, when they first read this, they were like, oh, Trump is going after everybody that prosecuted him and this, that, and the other. He's going for revenge. This is terrible. This is okay. Stick with me. All right. Just stick with me. This is the fucking idiot that is, his name's Paul Ingracia, that's running the Office of Special Counsel now. Randy Oliver, wait for it, brother. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. This is, I don't want to get ahead of it. Don't give the plot away, brother. Patty R, thank you. New supporter. Good to see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the show, the support of the show. This is just the level of stupidity that, again, this is somebody that's got no business in this job. All right. Let me tell you how bad of this is. A new lawyer. He's a new lawyer. He was supposed to be the attorney for you. Y'all remember Andrew Tate? All of that mess. He was supposed to be Tate's attorney, but he wasn't. You know why? Because he failed the fucking bar exam. His law firm he's a blogger. He's a blogger. And I've told you, these billionaire broligarchs fund these bloggers on this is what people on our side are facing. Okay. This blogger that was in college was being paid so well that when he finally graduated from Cornell Law School, They hired him at a law firm and then gave him the gig of representing Andrew Tate. But then he failed the bar exam. But he's still at the law firm getting paid, man. I mean, this is the kind of shit that we on this side of the fence have been fighting against. They, people say, oh, you just want to sell your cups. Well, shit, man. I don't have anybody giving me fucking bullshit jobs to, 6 and 7 figure jobs. I don't have that. Nobody on our side does. That's the broligarchs over there doing it. And you can see it firsthand with this guy. Because this is the kind of shit that he says, right? Just to give you an idea how shitty a lawyer this guy is, and two, his background. This is the kind of stuff that he puts out. Every single communist who's waged relentless lawfare against Trump and his supporters over the last 4 years, a group that includes Andrew Weissman, Norm Eisen, Jack Smith, Fonnie Willis, Alvin Bragg, and Letitia James. I have very bad news for you. You're going to jail. He's a punk. He is a real punk. I also put this one out. Jack Smith is a disgusting man and a lowlife. The DOJ needs a complete and total house cleaning. Yeah. So, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Stop coddling stupid. That discovery should be a hoot. That's what I'm going to next. Y'all are so far. I love you people for always being so far ahead of it. So far ahead of the plot. Why this is such a self-own. Not only because this guy is a brand new attorney in a job he has no qualifications for whatsoever. He's going to get dog walked by Jack Smith. Jack Smith is going to put this bitch on a leash and walk him like a dog. He is. This guy is no fucking attorney, and he is the head of the Office of Special Counsel. I told you it is a problem for us as a country that they're putting such morons in these positions, but in certain cases, it is actually a gift that these people are so freaking stupid, and he is going to be stupid. He is going to be an idiot. They've got two. Here's the deal. This is what they're alleging, that Jack Smith engaged in a Hatch Act violation, that he tried to influence the election, basically, is what they're trying to say. That he had no case. Okay. Good luck taking that to court. Good luck with that. Because Jack Smith then walks into court in either Miami or Washington, D.C., and they're going to try to do this in Miami. They're going to try to do this in Miami. They're going to try to say it was a Hatch Act violation that occurred in Miami so that they can roll the dice and hope that they get Eileen Cannon, because they assign judges randomly down in Miami. It's a luck of the draw situation. So they've got to hope that they get Eileen Cannon, which is just a small percentage chance. It is. But even if she did get it, Jack Smith would force her to recuse. They would get another judge. They're really screwing up here. But the other option is they end up in front of Jeb Boasberg in D.C. And Jack Smith's defense in this is, well, let me show you the case I built against Donald Trump. Here you go. And it all becomes a matter of public record. Everything that Donald Trump spent a fortune trying to delay, trying to stop from coming out to the public, he has now, on his own, created a court case where the evidence involved will be all of that evidence that they had on him. Oh my God. I'm sorry, folks. I am sorry, but I saw this And I was like, no, they no. Oh my God. Devil Dowsey, he looks like one of the Hardly Boys from South Park. Yeah. He's a clown. He's a clown. Mr. Newton, they're going to step on rakes every minute. Amen, brother. And that's what this is. I mean, you have to think about it, folks. For them to prosecute Jack Smith, okay? No, really. They're alleging he committed a Hatch Act violation in that he did not have a case to bring against Donald Trump, but brought it anyways to influence the election. All of the evidence will be that case. Oh my God. This is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm sorry, but this is hilarious. This is hilarious. You've got punk ass against Jack Smith. You've got Chihuahua boy against the Rottweiler in court. And the only place this can go is all of that money, all of that time, all of that political capital, everything Eileen Cannon threw her career in the trash can, poured gasoline on it, and lit it on fucking fire for. This entire case is all of that evidence that they didn't want to come to light. Oh my God. Oh my God. And there are really people, there really are a lot of people. They're like, oh, this is retribution. I'm so upset. And this, don't be. Don't be. Oh my God. Now, my guess is that somebody with a brain, a career prosecutor, explains this to them at some point. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wouldn't you just love to be in the room during that conversation? Okay, come here, water boy. Come here. Let me explain. I know you're not a prosecutor. Come here. Sit down. No, shut up. Shut up. Let me explain how this works and what you're about to do to the guy you love. Oh my God, it is, George. It's hilarious. Oh my God. Oh. And there are people in the DOJ that they said, we need volunteers, and they're, I'll do it. I'll do it, because they know exactly where this is going to go. They know exactly where this is going to go. And they're pissed off at the way all the work they put in, the investigations, everything. There were people when they were like, who are we going to bring in that we're just like, me, pick me. Oh yeah, I will try this. Oh my God. Yeah. But hey, and another bit of good news to make you laugh, make you happy. Okay. There are little things that you can tell. It's like when we were talking about how's the economy doing. I'm like, hey, go to Ship Finder and take a look at the ships. How many ships are moving cargo? Because if ships aren't moving cargo, the economy is not doing well. It's little things like that, little tells. If you want to know how Donald Trump's doing, what kind of trouble he's in, listen to the way the crowd reacts to him in his home turf. I'm going to tell you, the wrestling crowd, they're a lot like the monster truck crowd. This is Donald Trump's people. I mean, McMahon, for Christ's sake, actually works in the administration. She's over the Department of Education. And this is WWE SummerSlam over the weekend. Just listen to the way the fans react to him. Yeah, if you're Donald Trump, that ain't what you want to be hearing. Yeah. If that is the reaction that you're getting out of the WWE, yeah, this is not going well. You are not in good shape. Me too. I love that for him too, Lynn. I do. Lynette says, love that for him. Me too. It's a pretty good damn tell when your own people are reacting that way, that they are sick of your shit, that it is over. It is over. Trump is done. He really is done. This whole Epstein thing, and they keep digging that hole and digging that hole and digging that hole. These people take their self-identity. And when their self-identity isn't we're draining the swamp, no, they're not. They're screwing kids in the swamp is what they're doing. They're a bunch of damn pedophiles. Well, that whole this is my self-identity thing doesn't work really well in that situation now, does it? And politically, nobody can stop Trump. The scuttlebutt is that they've got no control over him with this, that they've tried talking to him and telling him to shut the fuck up and stop doing things, but he can't. He sent Todd Blanche down to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. Everybody knows what that is. Then suddenly Ghislaine Maxwell is in a cushy little summer camp prison. Everybody, this is not complicated. This is not complicated. Everybody gets this, including his own people. And it's really hard to base your own self-identity, which these people really do. They really do. I saw a guy being interviewed the other day that just short-circuited real time. They were interviewing this. They were at a Trump event, and they were interviewing a guy in a MAGA hat, and they started asking him questions, and they asked him about should the Second Amendment, and he's like, oh yeah, it's not how I feel about it. It's just it's the law, it's the Constitution, is what it is. They said, well, what about do the police need a warrant to come into your house? And the guy's like, oh yeah, man, that's the law, this, that, and the other. And he says, well, the Trump administration has ended that. They're now giving immigration the right to go into people's houses without warrants. What do you think about that? And the dude short-circuited right there. He just couldn't. He turned around and walked away. Yelled back at the guy, "You're big government." That's all he could come up with. They're not going to survive this. The whole Trump thing is over. It really is. He is old. He is dying right in front of us. He is not long for this earth. He just isn't. Not health-wise. He's just not long for this earth. And he's so addled. His brain is such mush. He has no situational awareness. None whatsoever. George Allen, if that was a rock concert, that band would be done. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I am telling you folks, now we have to worry about JD Vance. Because that was their goal all along. They didn't expect Trump to last. And now he's become a liability. The next thing you're going to see is they're going to start talking about Trump's mental health. They're going to start talking about Trump's mental health. You're going to start seeing right-wing outlets calling attention to the fact that The Hill, who shill like crazy for Donald Trump. Trump's mental decline is undeniable. So what now? Yeah. It's already starting. It's already starting. So the question is that a good thing for us or a bad thing for us? I told you what I wanted to see, and that is for us to just blaze in the midterms, give the Democrats super majorities if we can. That's a long walk, but whatever we can do, give the Democrats super majorities, and then keep Trump in office, just under control, because he's a grifter and he's addled. They can't control the guy, and he'll get more and more uncontrolled. But with a Democratic Congress to check him, to me, that was the best result. They figured this out, man. They're like, okay, we got to move on this whole JD Vance thing. And to me, that's even worse than Trump. That is. JD Vance is even, because Trump is a grifter. Trump is out. I've said this over and over again. I'm sorry for beating this horse to death, but it's true. Trump inherently, his evilness doesn't come from an ideological bent. It's all Trump all the time. And that's bad. But that's, if checked, isn't country destroying. That isn't end everything we have been. JD Vance is a different story. Folks, go read some of Curtis Yarvin's work. They believe this stuff. He is a Peter Thiel protege. He is a true believer in this unitary executive, basically corporate king is what they believe. They believe the president should be basically all powerful, and that it should be a corporate executive, or at least under the control of corporate executives. And no, that's not me bending their, that's what they tell you. That's what they say. Not me. I'm not bending their ideology, because I'm a Democrat. I always tell you I'm a Democrat. I wear it on my sleeve proudly. That's not mine. That's what they say openly. So yeah, I'm more concerned about a JD Vance in the White House with no chance of reelection, because he's about as appealing as a colonoscopy, under the control of basically Peter Thiel. That's a dangerous situation, folks. Captain PJ, thank you, Texas Paul, for all you do and helping me get through another horrifying week. It's getting harder and harder to say I'm an American citizen, and how embarrassing at what this country has become. Thank you, sir. No, thank you. That's a lot of support, Captain PJ. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, he is out there, man. I am telling you, folks, it's time to start doing some shows on JD Vance and his radical ass beliefs. We've touched on it on some previous shows before, but he is out there politically, economically, religiously. Everything about him is on the far fringe of the plate. He is dangerous. Trump, I can understand everything that comes out of Trump is about Trump. Every stupid thing he does is about Trump and lining his pockets and his, what he believes to be his legacy and it's all about him. And that's easy to fight. That's easy to fight against. These Curtis Yarvin believers man, they're dangerous. They are dangerous people. I guess I need to do a whole segment on Yarvin and these people's beliefs, man. I've talked to you before about the South African shit gibbons and the PayPal mafia. That's where he comes from. Peter Thiel bought him a Senate seat. Casey Hackinson, we need a weak Trump, not a dead Trump. Amen. Peter Thiel is a dangerous man. He wants to wipe out democracy. And they're unabashed about it. They tell you. 58 Sunfish, thank you for being here. New supporters, man, I tell you what, every time I see a new supporter, I breathe easy because I know we're going to do okay. I know we're going to do okay. Well, ladies, folks, talk to you. If you're, if you're not in a position where you're using one of these, talk to your daughters, talk to your granddaughters. I would never tell anybody what to do, but I will tell you this. I would counsel any female in my family to never use a period tracker app. Y'all may have heard about the lawsuit against Flo, one of the most popular period trackers in the country. They settled their lawsuit, but out of that lawsuit came this. Meta was recording all of your data that you were giving them, including the questionnaires like, do you want to get pregnant? When was your last period? Yada, yada, yada. There's a law. It's called the California Confidentiality of Medical Information Act. Damn it. Don't know how that happened. Oregon wine lady. What happened recently with Thune supposedly denying Trump recess appointments? I'm telling you, they 100% are in control. 100%. Catherine Ryan, this is totally a conspiracy wish. Donald J. Trump has a medical event that incapacitates him. The Common Coalition report proves true. We have an interim government run by a bipartisan council and redo of the 2024 election. Catherine, I appreciate where you're going there, but that is a wish. We're never going to redo the 2024 election. Never going to redo it. Did y'all hear the part where I talked about Meta? I don't know when I ended up muted. I don't know how that happened. I don't remember muting myself. But yeah, Meta was convicted. This is a matter of law. It came out of the Flow lawsuits. The information came out of the Flow lawsuits. Meta was keeping data that they were not entitled to keep. The California Confidentiality of Medical Information Act, they violated it. They were asking women questions about, do you want to get pregnant? When was your last period? Yada, yada, yada. And they were storing all of that information. Well, now the freaks, the anti-abortion freaks, know it's there. You know, California passed this law just to prevent this kind of thing. And Meta did it anyways. So yeah, I would not advise any woman in my family, anywhere, any of my daughters, my grandchildren, to use a period tracker app. I just would not. I simply would not. You know me, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but when California specifically passes a law that says you cannot do this, and they do it anyways, yeah, there is intent there. There is intent there. You don't expose yourself to legal liability, both criminal and civil, intentionally without without having a purpose, without having a reason. Why are you keeping this data on women? You know, why is your corporation wanting to maintain this data? It makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense to me. And I tell you something else that was creepy about this is all during the lead up to the trial with Flo, which again, Flo settled this lawsuit. All to the lead up, Meta denied that they ever did this. Meta denied they ever did this. It's the plaintiff's lawyers that actually, in a San Francisco courtroom, laid it all out there and proved that they did this. To the second that judge's gavel fell, Meta wholly denied that they were keeping this information. That's insane. I mean, that is insane. And like I said, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but that is just fucking scary to me. Well, look, that's what I brought for you today, folks. Is there anything that y'all would like to expand on the conversation about? Anything I didn't cover completely? I do that sometimes. I'll start to talk about something and forget to make a point. Oh, I would like to do a correction. I meant to do this in the beginning of the show. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't been following Kamala Harris other than the early whispers that she was going to run for governor. And somebody asked in the chat at the end of the show if she was going to run for governor. I said, of course she is. I said, of course she is. Of course she's going to run. I mean, why wouldn't she? No, she's not. According to her, she has no intentions of running. So what are we looking at? Probably Katie Porter. Probably looking at Katie Porter, which would be a good thing for California. There'll be a whole raft of great candidates running, but yeah, which makes me wonder, what is Kamala Harris going to do? Is she looking at 2028? What is her goal here? I'll tell you, it'll be an uphill run for her in 2028 if she decides to run. One, because she's taken a loss already, but two, we're going to have some strong candidates. I mean, I guarantee you, you're gonna have JB Pritzker. I guarantee you're gonna have Gavin Newsom. You're gonna have man. I mean, Pete Buttigieg is probably going to throw his hat in the ring. You're going to have some really freaking great candidates running in 2028. Some solid, well-backed people. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody didn't try to get AOC on a ticket as a VP. I wouldn't be surprised there at all. Let's go into the round table. Heidi, everybody doesn't hate Newsom, but there are a lot of people that are really angry for two reasons. Two reasons. One, Newsom, because he's planning on running and kind of he kind of sees this MAGA collapse happening. Trump can't run again. MAGA is going to implode on itself. So he thought it would be a good idea to sit down with Charlie Kirk and try and win over some of the MAGA defectors, which was stupid. It was just stupid. Then, well, before that, he had made some comments about transgender people, about them not being a priority and not, stop fighting over transgender people. I don't know all the comments he made, but he has pissed off the LGBTQ plus community and has a lot of work to do there. Then there's the people that are trying to cancel AOC, like Love to Bud here, that want to cancel AOC now after screaming that she's the greatest thing since sliced bread and should run the Democratic Party. They want to cancel AOC because she voted for an arms package for Israel because it included weapons for their Iron Dome. That is the reason she voted for it. It included weapons for their Iron Dome defensive weapons. That bill was predominantly filled with defensive weapons. And AOC lives in New York and has a large Jewish voter base. So yeah, she voted for the bill. So now we got to cancel AOC. Folks, we've got to cut that shit out. We do. We have got to cut that shit out. These people represent districts or states that may not be the same as yours. They have to represent their folks. They do. At least give her a chance to run her national campaign. It's like people trying to cancel Zoran Mamdani. Could he run here in Texas? No. A lot of what he stands for wouldn't fly here. He'd have a hard time getting a Democratic base to support him here on a lot of his policies, but they're great in New York. This is why I'm all in. I'm from Texas and I'm all in for Zoran Mamdani. His mayoral candidacy is perfect for where he's running. He's doing great. We have to stop this canceling people shit, folks. Cut it out. All you're doing, you're suppressing our own turnout, which is essentially just giving voters to the Republicans. Raymond Weaver, to expand, what does it say about us when we vote for pedos and people that protect them? Yeah, I never did, Raymond. I never did. But it says a lot about MAGA. It says a lot about MAGA. Yeah, she is well liked. She is. It's just that small, extremist, Israel-hating crowd that anything Israel has to be a litmus test. They want to act like there's no left wing in Israel, but they're the first people to scream at you if you compare, if you even talk about support for Hamas among the Palestinian community, or talk about anything in the past that's gone on with the Palestinian community. They're the first people to scream at you, but then they also want to end Israel because they refuse to accept that half of Israel are just as left-wing and as the left wing here in the United States. It's the purists. Ricardo Zamora says, talking more about the firing of the Fed staff. Yeah, that was again so petty and stupid. What does that do? That makes it nobody's going to trust anybody you put in place. It's a career ender. It's a career ender. It is. It's just a career ender for anybody that takes that job. And it's the stupidest thing in the world. The arguments he's making, like I said, he's saying, well, this person's political. Well, then they were political for you in October because you really liked what she did in October. But now you're just going to put somebody in place. And Steve Bannon came out right before he called for her firing. This is why I say he's addled. He's not in control. He is not running things. He's not. Because Steve Bannon said this the day before, that they needed to fire this. They needed to fire her and replace her with somebody that supports Trump, that will put out figures for Trump. And then the next day, Trump did that very thing. So yeah, this is just stupid, just extremely stupid, because it's not going to help him, because nobody's going to accept the numbers. It's just going to look like more blatant, open corruption. He can put out job numbers that are astronomically good. You know, if the economy took off and they really did produce a bunch of jobs, who would believe it now? Who would believe it? Lori Yates, thank you. Support our own political party. That's right. Think about what you're saying and doing, and does it drive out turnout? Does it drive turnout? Jordan, Republicans tried to cancel AOC because she made a college video dancing. Yeah. But no, this really is. I call them the fake left. This really is the fake left. They're trying to cancel AOC. Blue Sky has a huge portion. I love Blue Sky. Great site, a lot of energy. 90% of the people are there. But as far as any other platform goes, the platform with the most fake left, Blue Sky, 100%. They want to cancel AOC. There's a faction over there that anything at all, Israel at all, anything Israel related at all, Israel has to be ended, and so do you. They're the most extreme of the extreme. Pavlon 01, he is old and decrepit, but causing as much damage as possible to dismantle the country. Let's midterm JD under control. Yeah, these midterms are everything. They are everything. Not only do we have to turn out, we have to turn out massively. That's why I've got very little patience. You know, there are people in our party that I wholly disagree with. I do. But I don't shit on those people. I don't. Because their people drive turnout. Even if I disagree with them on a subject vehemently. The example I like to use is Shannon Watts. Shannon Watts and I agree on probably 97% of everything. Where we go totally two different directions is gun control. I think politically it's a no-winner. It's stupid. There are a lot of Democrats out there that own guns, and they're expensive. And the Republicans are really good at messaging this. We're not. Because we get every willy-nilly person on the fringe that says really radical shit, and the Republicans make that all over the media our mainstream position, which it's not, but they're just better at it. So I'm like, stay away from that. But 97% of what we talk about, Shannon and Watts, absolutely, and I absolutely, we agree on it, except for that. So I will never poo-poo Shannon Watts. She is a turnout machine. We have to get better at that as a party. We do. These purists, these litmus test people, you didn't give me 100% of what I wanted. You only gave me 98%. So fuck you. No, man. We can't be like that. We can't. We just can't. You know, Ronald Reagan didn't do a lot right. He really didn't. But one of the things that he did do is set a precedence within the Republican Party. You don't shit on another Republican. That was the law for them. And it worked. We need to kind of take that up ourselves. And I'll give you an example. John Fetterman said something stupid again. Surprise. No one carried it. It wasn't newsworthy. You know who did carry it? Fox. Fox News. And the anti-Democrat Tourette's purists over on Blue Sky ran that clip from Fox News. They elevated Fox News to talk about that yesterday. With everything that I talked to you about today going on, that's what they wanted to talk about. John Fetterman said something stupid. So, the Democrats. These are not the real left, people. They're not. They're the fake left. They are the fake left. If you're going to Fox fucking News and elevating their narrative, you're not left. You're not. There's nothing left-wing about you. Yeah, Heidi, they are. They're getting much better about their messaging. They really are. Gun violence prevention is, yeah. They're getting much better about their messaging. And that's why I say I don't, even though I disagree, I will never, ever shit talk another Democrat that way. I won't. Because I'm a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm not one of those high and mighty independents. I only vote for the right way to say, well, that's bullshit. Because there's no politician that's 100% going the right direction. I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican. They're just going. That's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought Metal Mark says, what about my opinion on gerrymandering? This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Democrats will do everything they can. They'll deny them a quorum. They'll do everything they can. They will fight their asses off. But the bottom line is elections have consequences. And in the state of Texas, the Republicans have the power and the votes to do this. And they have billionaire oligarchs that just drop Brinks trucks on people. They don't drop bombs on people. They drop Brinks trucks on people. And folks, this is going to happen. It is. This is the thing that we need to wrap our heads around. We can't have that, disappointing Democrats because this happened. This isn't about the Democrats. The Democrats didn't do this, and they don't have the power or the votes to stop it. All we can do is raise hell about it. All we can do is make everyone aware of it. All we can do is make sure no one votes to say thank you. No one. If people voted to say thank you, Democrats would own every office in every state in every part of this country if people voted to say thank you, because it's only the Democrats that govern. People don't vote to say thank you. They vote to say fuck you. And that's all we can do with this is show how badly these Republicans are cheating and make them pay for it at the ballot box. But this is going to happen. They're going to gerrymander this state badly. And we're going to have to fight like hell to try to keep people like Jasmine Crockett in office. They're going to pit Democrat versus Democrat against each other is what they're going to do. That's what this map does. So that the race in that district isn't a Democrat versus a Republican. It's two combined Democrat districts into one now. So these Democrats have to fight it out. We have to work on our turnout. We have to, and I'm going to tell you this, Kendall Scudder has taken over. He's the head of the Texas Democratic Party now. There are people in the Democratic Party that are working their asses off. Victor Harshman, so proud to be part of this community. Keep fighting, folks. Thank you for the support, Victor. I really appreciate you. I really do. Dying Bree Garage. Hey, Paul, heard in an interview with made a point that these concentration camps being built in El Paso are more for the homegrown, as how Trump stated, birthright citizenship was upheld in court, but what the fuck? You know who I am. We'll get to that next, brother. We'll get to that next because that is a great point. Let me finish this up with gerrymandering and what we have to do. The Texas Democratic Party, hey, we're hurting for cash. We need about 25 million bucks. And we're not going to get it from these billionaire oligarchs. We're just not. This shit costs money. And I got Kendall Scudder out there fighting his ass off. That dude, I don't think he's been home since he's taken the office. He is out there fighting his ass off, working with local parties. He is squeezing every nickel he can and getting it. My little red dot county just got $1,000 sent to them from Vicki Goodwin, who's running for lieutenant governor. So what Kendall Scudder's doing, we've got a great slate of candidates. We do. We have people that you can get behind. The gubernatorial candidate is fantastic. The attorney general candidates coming out are fantastic. Everything's great. We just have to make this happen ourselves. And it's not just Texas. I could give you the Texas example, but this is nation frickin' wide. If you will get involved at the local level, you can change those elections at the local level. You can change the balance of power in your county. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much. We had an election not too long ago. I'm trying to remember which one it is. We're 30,000 registered voters in the county, and the party's doing everything to register. We lost the election because only 19 people showed up. Vicki Goodwin is brilliant. She is freaking brilliant. She is. When I talk to her, she is brilliant. She is. I'm trying to get her to throw sharper elbows is what I'm trying to do, because that woman has forgotten more about the governing of the state of Texas and the day-to-day operations of everything that needs to happen in the state of Texas than I will ever know in my lifetime. To say she's brilliant it's not an understatement. It's not. She is brilliant. We have great candidates coming up. We do. That is not my coffee. That is not my coffee. Oh, God, no. I don't. Whoo. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, good Lord. My beautiful wife drinks her coffee very sweet. Hold on. I got to get the taste out of my mouth. I drink mine black. I mean, straight black. That's the way I like my coffee. Woo. No, man. Splenda. Dude, she puts enough Splenda in there to drop a rhino. Whew. But no, not vodka. Let's get back to Dying Breed Garage and his question. It was a great question. I want to read it again just to make sure that I'm answering it correctly. About Beto talking about El Paso and the homegrown. Okay, here's the thing. This is something this could be a whole segment of a show. Folks, they just made ICE one of the largest law enforcement operations in the country. They just did. I want you to think about everything the FBI does, all of the different divisions, bank robbery to terrorism to, just all the different, to their murder lab, all of this, all of that. Think about all the massive stuff that the FBI encompasses. ICE is now on par with that dollar-wise, except they're doing nothing but hiring vigilantes. And I don't call them agents. I call them vigilantes. Because, folks, they're paying these people a bonus. They're paying them like headhunters. Not only, and get this, they give them a big signing bonus. Why do they do that? Well, it's hard to attract people to do this job because it's a really shit job. It's a shit thing for a human being to be doing. So they give them these huge signing bonuses, but that's a hook. Once you take that money, who doesn't spend it? Who doesn't spend that money? Right? People that take these jobs, they got bills, man. They pay down their mortgage, they do whatever. So they don't have that big chunk of change. So they're 6 weeks in, 3 months in, and they realize, holy shit, this ain't what I signed up for. Well, they don't have the money to give back. They're stuck. They are stuck. Then on top of it, they're paying these people a bonus for arrests. And I didn't say arrests of illegals. People here illegally. I said arrests, not prosecutions, arrests. Folks, this isn't going away. And just like with Doge, where they came in and they made all of these claims about all these illegal people and all these criminals, and are like Doge was like, we're going to find all this fraud, waste, and abuse, and then they never found any. It was so bad they tried to make up shit. It's the same thing with ICE. There just aren't that many criminals out there. This is our country is very, very, very much not in a crime wave right now. It's a pretty peaceful place. So they're not going to just get criminals. They're just going to take people and put them in these fucking concentration camps. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. They're paying these people 6 figures a year plus bonuses to do this. Why would they stop just because they run out of criminals? No. This is bad. This is bad. We must give the Democrats a supermajority so they can undo some of this shit. Because they will. I mean, you're going to see old Texas Paul in a fucking concentration camp before we're done. Because they are just going to keep going after. Do you understand what I'm saying? What do they do when they run out of criminals? When they run out of people that they can trip up? You know, we already had one judge testifying that the DOJ came and told him to dismiss cases so that they wouldn't have a case pending and they could arrest people at the courts. They're already bending and breaking the rules. What happens to these people that are living off these bonuses when their targets dry up? They get new targets. Michael Powell, they're paying you to be lawless and unpatriotic. Yep, they are. We need to be screaming at these people, screaming shame at these people, impeding these people. I cannot tell you to legally impede an investigation. I cannot tell you to legally impede an arrest or anything like that. But I will not help. You can't force me to help. They're going to go after us. They are. This is, folks, they budgetarily are now on par with the fucking BI. This is not going away. This is not going away. This is one of the most pressing fights of our time. And they're going to go after, it's going to be, and we just had the Trump administration win a court case about removing protective status. And do you know who the number one demographic for people whose status they were removing was? Cubans are in the tank Republicans. I'm telling you, Cubans are like 80% Republican. And they don't care. These are the fucking racist fucking golden knights of the KKK fucking bullshit running our government. They don't care. Brown, you got to go. Trump supporter, they don't care. They don't care. It is something else, man. It is really something else. Well, folks, that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you for spending time with me. I appreciate all of your support. I'm very grateful. Thanks for continuing to build our community. Thanks for getting so many people out here to watch the show. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. Let's keep growing our community. To all you new folks, welcome. We're glad you're here. You're in very good company. You're in very good company. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.